The Long Way Home Supplemental Chapter. Practice. Stowaway. No. Cadet watched the three heavy wielders leave. Cadet. He'd fit. He thought it fit, anyway. He was learning to pilot. He was trying to join. He was just a little surprised that Jason cared enough to notice. It shouldn't surprise him. He tested it out a couple times, and Jason really did pay attention. However, there was another thing to think about. Jason had actually did what he said he was going to do. Sure, lots of grown-ups had followed through on punishing him before, and a couple had kept their word about other stuff, but this was different somehow. Eventually, he decided that it was a good thing. Probably. Long, lonely minutes ticked by into the hours as Cadet blew off doing anything remotely productive in favor of watching the ancient movies saved on the long waste computers. He idly wondered whether the old man knew that there were movies out from this century, but nonetheless enjoyed the film he'd chosen. It happened that he realized he was hungry, so he got up and sort of meandered towards the kitchen area. But then remembered something. Jason had asked him to do something, said please and everything. So he ambled over to the hatch leading to steep stairs to the engine room and stuck his head in. "Trandry," he called, "you want something to eat?" He didn't get an answer, so he plodded down the stairs until he stood over Trandry's shoulder and attempted to fathom the arcane art she was employing. He couldn't make any sense of what she was up to. He looked her over, and he thought she looked a little strained and a little tired. Maybe this was why Jason had asked him to make sure she ate lunch. "Hey," he said softly, but to no response. "Hey!" he tried more loudly to again, no response. "Hey!" he fairly shouted, and Trandry jumped with a shocked squeal. "Didn't you hear me?" Her skin turned lilac, and she looked at the floor for some reason, and she mumbled something he couldn't hear. Cadet wasn't really sure what to do, so he decided to just go with his original plan. "Do you want any lunch?" "Oh," she mumbled, her lilac shade deepening. "I'm okay." "Jason said to make sure you eat lunch. I'm going to make lunch, so—" "Oh," she mumbled to the floor. "What's the time?" Cadet shrugged and admitted, "Beats me. I'm just hungry, so it's lunchtime." "Oh," Trandry said, brightening. "I can come fix you something." "No, that's not—" "Whatever, so long as you eat," Cadet said, trying to imitate Jason's no-nonsense tones. "Who put you in charge?" she retorted. However, she did start climbing up to the main room. Cadet looked at the ceiling in exasperation and said, "Open skies! You want to be in charge?" For some reason, she looked down at the floor again, and at the top of the stairs she mumbled, It was a joke." "Well, I don't get it," Cadet said simply. "Oh," she replied, and quietly went to the kitchen and got to work. She didn't say anything at all for a long while, so Cadet said what came to his mind first. "Is it going to work?" "I don't know. I'm on my third try with the adapter." "I think I'm close," Trandry said, and fell silent as she worked on cooking. Cadet thought about trying to help, but he didn't really know what to do in the kitchen, and she was being all quiet and all. The silence grew between them, until and after Trandry put 2 plates of sandwiches made from leftovers roast and some of the vegetables from the pirate ship. Still, she didn't say anything, and Cadet began to tap his talons on the floor and tried not to think about how weird it is the sea mammals eat. After all, he blurted out, "Good sandwich." "Thank you," she said, a little more clearly than before, and fell silent. Cadet tilted his head at Trandry and asked, "Are you mad at me or something?" "Oh," she started, and her eyes went wide. I didn't realize you don't like quiet." Cadet had to think about that for a moment. He thought he liked quiet just fine, but he concluded, "Quiet is different if there's another person." "Aye," she said simply, before looking at him and seeing something. "When there's people, the quiet is always full of something, whatever's between them, plus what the ship's saying." "Oh, yeah? And what is the ship saying, then?" The girl cocked her head and listened for a beat. She's still full of sorrow, still angry. Her crew is in pain, and she hates that. But there's hope, too. Hope and courage are growing all the time. Cadet listened to the ever-present humming, buzzing, and other sounds of active systems and said, "You get all of that from—" I don't get it," Cadet admitted. "A lot of people don't. Some people are good with people. Some people are good with ships. Some people understand fighting. There are lots of kinds of people among the stars. What kind are you?" Trandry seemed to get a little smaller as she said, "I can fix things sometimes. What kind am I?" She shrugged and said, "I don't know. Jason's good at understanding people, not me." Cadet narrowed his eyes and said, "You weren't always good at fixing things, were you?" I guess not," she said. "I just practiced a lot. So take a guess." Trandry looked at him and twirled her jewel thumbs on her lower hands while she held her sandwich with her upper hands until she said, "I think, you're a person who's good at watching." Cadet thought about it. He guessed it fit. It's important to watch. It's how you know who'd hit you or who wouldn't. Hit you? Grown-ups. But you stowed away on our ship. Oh, the Star Sailors didn't ever hit me, except for that one guy I startled, he said with a deep, throaty avian chuckle. Jumped around like crazy and whacked me right in the head with his head. Oh, why did you stow away among the fleets with so many times? Because the punishment is to get a bed and hot food, and all you do is make me wash dishes or clean doors or something. Why didn't you ever just try join a ship? Can't say no when you're a couple days away from the station, Cadet said bluntly. You know, the punishment is only so light because you're a kid. Stowing away is taken much more seriously once you're a grown-up, Trandre said, with sternness edging on her voice. I never really thought about being a grown-up, he admitted. I should get back to work, Trandre said simply. You want company? Is it okay if I don't want to talk very much while I work? End of chapter. I'd quickly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Casper Arnholt, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.